Hello YouTube, welcome back to my channel, and in this video I'll be talking about the OnePlus 3T, and this is the soft gold color which I recently purchased a few weeks ago. Now my long-term followers know that I've been reviewing the OnePlus 3 since last year. That will not be the case anymore. The OnePlus 3 is now been given to my mom, and that's why I've got the OnePlus 3T. So from this moment onwards, you will see plenty of videos on the 3T throughout 2017 and possibly in 2018 as well. So without any further ado, let's quickly get started. Okay, so now let's get into the phone and use the good old reliable fingerprint sensor on the OnePlus 3T, pretty much the same as on the OnePlus 3. There you go, open the first time. Let's tap into settings, and from there go right down in about phone, tap here. As you can see, it's running Oxygen OS 4.0.3 at the moment. This has obviously got 6 gigs of RAM, same as the OnePlus 3. This is, by the way, the 64 gig variant. You also have a 128 gig variant on the OnePlus 3T as well, unlike the OnePlus 3. Also, the phone is running Android version 7.0, which is Nougat, which I received just about a couple of weeks ago. When I got the phone out of the box, guys, it was running Marshmallow 6.0.1, and within a week I was able to get the 7.0. I know at some point I will be getting 7.1.1 as been announced by OnePlus, both for the OnePlus 3 and the 3T. As soon as I get Nougat 7.1.1, I will do an in-depth video explaining everything about the phone, camera, battery life, performance, RAM management, and there'll be plenty of things discussed in the future. But for now, we're running Android version 7.0 Nougat. And as you can see, also the security patch level is slightly outdated, in fact, 1st of December 2016. So at some point, hopefully, I will get that too, and I will keep you guys informed. Let's talk about the performance first of all. And those of you who got the OnePlus 3, I know they're looking at this video and thinking, Jay, how's the performance as compared to the OnePlus 3? To be honest, guys, there's hardly any difference. In general, day-to-day performance, it is not much different from the OnePlus 3. I would say it's pretty much on par with the OnePlus 3T. It's only when you're doing the benchmarking and other regular stuff when you probably feel the difference. But in day-to-day performance, there's hardly any difference whatsoever, because both the phones are pretty much on par when it comes to raw power. Both have got 6 gigs of RAM. The OnePlus 3 has 820. This one has got a Snapdragon 821, which is also again an incremental update like other updates, including battery life and the front camera, which we will talk about later in the video. But day-to-day performance on the OnePlus 3, it is smooth, it's nice, not too bad. Pretty much like I said, same as on the OnePlus 3. So if you have a OnePlus 3, guys, do not worry, you don't have to buy the OnePlus 3T. The reason I got the OnePlus 3T because my mom fell in love with my OnePlus 3, so she took it from me. So I thought, Mom, no problem, I'll get the OnePlus 3T, because both the phones are pretty much the same apart from certain incremental updates, which like I said, we will discuss later in the video. But day-to-day performance is fine. Everything opens smoothly, fine. Speed is pretty good as well. Camera opens up straight away without any issues. So in general, I'm very happy with the performance on the OnePlus 3T. RAM management is not an issue as well. Pretty much the same as on the OnePlus 3. All apps stay in RAM and there's no problem there whatsoever. So in general, the performance is fast, is very quick, and to be honest, I think with these kind of specs, especially 6 gigs of RAM, with LG G6 and the Samsung Galaxy S8 announced, and they are almost out in certain markets. As you know, both phones have got 4 gigs of RAM along with Snapdragon 821 or the Snapdragon 835. So keep it in mind, especially the S8 for instance, it's got the Snapdragon 835 along with 4 gigs of RAM. In my opinion, leaving the benchmarks aside, I don't think so you'll be able to differentiate between the performance on the S8 and the 3T. Benchmarking, like I said, might be different, yes, but day-to-day performance on the 3T probably will match the S8, if not better the S8. So any of you who has the 3 or even the 3T, you will have no problems throughout 2017 when it comes to comparing with flagships from 2017. The LG G6, as you know, also has a Snapdragon 821, same as on the 3T. The reason why LG got the 821 because they knew that they couldn't get hold of the first batch, which Samsung obviously had done with Qualcomm, all the arrangements, and nobody else could get the Snapdragon 835. So that's why they stayed with 821, and they knew that 821 had enough performance for the G6 throughout 2017 and possibly into 2018 as well. Same stands for the 3T, and because the 3T has 6 gigs of RAM, I think this is going to be even better than the LG G6 in the long term, especially for the next couple of years. So performance wise, guys, there's no issue with the handset whatsoever. If you purchase it now, you'll be fine, no problem. If you have the OnePlus 3, you don't have to get the OnePlus 3T. However, yes, if you have the OnePlus 2, then the 3T will be a good purchase for the next couple of years. Let's talk about the battery life on the OnePlus 3T. Now this is one area which has received some upgrade, and this time around we have a 3400 mAh battery as opposed to 3000 on the OnePlus 3. The screen size is still the same, 5.5-inch Super AMOLED 1080p screen, so we should expect some better battery life. In my typical style, guys, let's go into the screenshots and have a look and see what I've been collecting for the past few weeks ever since I had the phone. Okay, the first screenshot, like I said to you earlier in the video, once I got the phone out of the box, it had Marshmallow 6.0.1. Eventually, I received the new Oxygen update along with the new Android Nougat 7.0 update as well. So all these changes, which you can see, you can pause the video and look for yourself should you wish to. Okay, so the first screenshot, battery down to 49% as you can see, and here I was using mostly Wi-Fi and heavy usage with GPS. I was taking the photos as well a few times, and I was able to achieve 3 hours and 11 minutes of screen on time with battery down to 49%. Further down at 40% again, I took another screenshot. As you can see, made a lot of voice calls and standby. I used camera, Wi-Fi, Google services, Instagram, social media, bits and bobs, and eventually after using it for a while at 39 to 40%, I was able to achieve 4 hours and 1 minute of screen on time, and eventually down to 5% all the way till the end. As you can see, all my use, including voice calls, camera, Wi-Fi, Google services, WhatsApping, social media, everything bits and bob. After a long day, 1 day and 4 hours of total use, so I was able to achieve more than 1 day of battery life on the OnePlus 3T with the first charge. And by the way, at this time it was still running 6.0.1 and not Android Nougat 7.0. I will let you know later in a few minutes when I installed the Nougat and what was the battery life after that. There'll be some interesting results to find out. Okay, so eventually I was able to achieve 5 hours and 25 minutes of screen on time, and this was the phone running the older Oxygen version along with Android Marshmallow 6.0.1. Yet again, battery once again down to 5%. I wanted to make sure the results were consistent. After 22 hours using the phone like I always do, like I said, I'm a YouTuber, guys, Instagram, Twitter, all the social media bits and bobs, and eventually I was able to achieve here after 22 hours a total of 5 hours and 11 minutes of screen on time, and mostly this was Wi-Fi, occasionally 4G here and there as well. So in general, if you're going to be using the phone for mixed use, you're likely to get around 5 hours mark. If you use Wi-Fi, most likely you'll probably be getting around 5.5 with the older version if you still haven't got Android Nougat 7.0, which I'm sure most of you have got it already. Then I also tested the standby time on Android Marshmallow 6.0.1 and not Nougat 7.0, and 93% you can see 148 on 25th of March. Took a screenshot, and then when I checked at 12:03 around afternoon time, almost after 11 to 12 hours, the battery had gone down to 86%. So it's a considerable drop, keeping in mind that Marshmallow also has those working at the back end. I wasn't able to take screenshots on Nougat, guys, but I can tell you in general, standby has significantly improved. It's a lot better than what you're seeing right now. It loses about 1% every 5 to 6 hours, which is not too bad. Okay, so here I took a screenshot just because, like I said to you earlier in the video, I had installed Nougat. Then eventually I installed Nougat 7.0. As you can see, it's running along with Oxygen OS 4.0.3, as you can see on the top right left corner here. Okay, then I took a screenshot last night, guys. I wasn't able to spend much time at the 3T. I wasn't able to take as many screenshots as I normally do, but still I could see the significant improvement straight away. So this was just last night. As you can see, battery down to 50%, and using the phone as like always do, social media bits and bobs, Twitter, YouTube, streaming movies as well. So I was able to achieve, after battery being down to 50%, a total of 3 hours and 42 minutes of screen on time. So I can tell you straight away that ever since the phone has received Nougat 7.0, battery has significantly improved. Standby time and also the screen on time as well. So as you can see, 3 hours and 42 minutes of screen on time with Android Nougat 7.0 installed on the phone. Mind you, I was also streaming videos from Cartoon HD, which is an app, third-party app which you can install from outside the Play Store. I was streaming movies from there as well, and I was really enjoying, and the battery was really holding really well. Okay, eventually streamed a couple of episodes of The 100, but that's the one which I was watching, the TV series, and I was able to achieve in the end, as you can see, thick heavy lines showing you that I was non-stop using the phone. I was able to achieve 7 hours and 12 minutes of screen on time on the OnePlus 3T. Most of this time, especially the last 2-3 hours, was spent streaming live video from the servers of Cartoon HD, streaming like I said, the 100, the TV series. So it was really, really good. I was very impressed with the screen on time ever since I've installed Nougat 7.0. So there are significant improvements on Nougat 7.0, guys. If you have seen the same kind of improvement in your battery life, please do let me know in the comment section, and I'll be more than happy to discuss. So battery wise, the OnePlus 3T is now definitely an improvement, especially after installing Nougat 7.0. At some point I'm expecting to have 7.1.1. As soon as I have that, guys, I will do a detailed video and we'll see if the battery life remains the same like this as on 7.0. So battery wise, OnePlus 3T has got no issues, and it's a welcome upgrade. Thank you OnePlus for putting in a slightly bigger battery that makes life so much easier for an average consumer. Let's talk about the cameras on the OnePlus 3T. This is one area where the phone has also received a slight bit of upgrade, especially on the front camera. We now have a 16 megapixel sensor as opposed to an 8 megapixel sensor on the OnePlus 3. So I've been taking quite a few selfies, guys. Have a look on Instagram, links are in the description. You will see plenty of selfies there and plenty of photos I've taken the last few weeks on my Instagram account, and you can be the judge to see how good the camera, especially the front camera on the OnePlus 3T is. The back camera is pretty much the same as on the OnePlus 3, still the same 16 megapixel sensor along with f2.0 aperture, and also has optical image stabilization. So let's take a few photos here and see how the back camera fares. So I've got my watch here, so let's take a quick photo of the watch and see how the OnePlus 3T fares. So there we go. Okay, let's also take a picture of Andy the Android, which I got there as well. So there you go, boom. Okay, so now let's have a look at the pictures and the quality in general. Okay, so let's zoom in. As you can see pretty much all the details on the Android. The background is a bit blurry, you can see it's blurred up, and the front scratches are pretty much clear. So the camera is pretty awesome, showing you plenty of detail and depth, a good contrast and good color balance as well. Okay, so let's have a look at the watch. As you can see, guys, the watch is pretty much in focus as well, so decent quality from a camera at this budget, not looking too bad. So let's have a look at a few video samples I took earlier from the phone, both front camera and the back camera, and let's have a look and see how good the video quality from the OnePlus 3T is. Recording with the front facing camera on the OnePlus 3T. This time around we have a 16 megapixel sensor as opposed to the 8 megapixel sensor on the OnePlus 3. So definitely an improvement there. I'm not too sure how good the stabilization is, but it's definitely been an improvement over the OnePlus 3. So I thought let's do a quick vlog to see how good the front-facing camera on the OnePlus 3T is. Recording with the OnePlus 3T, 1080p 30 fps. So let's walk along and see how the optical image stabilization works. It's decent enough, not too bad. Not as good as the Pixel XL or the Samsung Galaxy S7 Edge, but doing a decent enough job. Let's check out the exposure. So not looking too bad. Let's do a quick thumb test and see how it does. There you go. It's definitely not as good as the S7 Edge or the Pixel. As you can see, struggling to focus my thumb. Let's do it once more. A bit of distance, and still struggling. Not as good as the Pixel or the Galaxy S7 Edge. As you can see, still struggling. Let's change the size a bit. Now facing the sun, and let's bring the thumb in again. And as you can see, it is still struggling. So that's definitely embarrassing. To be honest, it was doing much better at 60 frames per second, but at 30 fps it is really struggling with autofocus. Anyways, so let's move along and have a look and see if we can get things focused on anything else. So let's look at the leaves here. Let's get close here then. Okay, decent enough performance. It focuses, facing the sun, looking at the leaf. Not looking too bad, decent enough, but for some reason it refuses to focus on my thumb. So let's bring the thumb in again. Oh, finally it focuses my thumb. There we go. And once more. Still struggling. Okay, for some odd reason, I don't know, at 30 fps it should do better than 60 fps, but at 30 fps is definitely struggling with the autofocus. You can see both the front and the back cameras are decent enough. They're a good welcome upgrade, especially with the front facing 16 megapixel sensor. And if you haven't checked the photos, like I said earlier, guys, please do go onto my Instagram account, link under the description, like I said, and you'll see plenty of selfies and plenty of photos from both the front and the back cameras on the OnePlus 3T. So from my opinion, the camera is good enough on the OnePlus 3T. It's a good day-to-day camera, not as good as on the Pixel or the Galaxy S7 Edge, but still a very good, decent camera at this budget. That's pretty much it on the OnePlus 3T from my side. Of the few weeks that I've had the phone, I'm quite impressed with the way they have checked out this phone, especially after the OnePlus 3. The increment in the battery life is a welcome improvement. Apart from that, everything else is pretty much incremental, I would say, including the front-facing 16 megapixel sensor, which wasn't needed, to be honest, because I was already getting very good selfies from the OnePlus 3's 8 megapixel front-facing camera. However, to stay ahead of the market is something which OnePlus are really good at, and that's the only way to beat the giants like LG, Samsung and Apple in the market. So in general, I think the phone is fantastic, good set of cameras, good performance like I said, and very good battery life. I've also purchased the S8 and the Huawei P10 Plus. Both handsets will be featuring on the channel in the next few weeks, guys, and I'll be comparing the OnePlus 3T with the Huawei P10 Plus and also the Galaxy S8. And also LG G6 and the HTC U Ultra will also be featuring on the channel in the next few weeks to come. So guys, please do stay tuned. Like always, any questions, please feel free to ask me in the comment section, and please give my video a thumbs up if you like it, and please subscribe to my channel as it helps, and I shall see you in the next video.